My dad never taught me how to ride a bike, but that didn't stop me from teaching myself. And I think the best way to learn is to make a game about something. And luckily, instead of going on family bike rides, I learned how to make games.
Double luckily, there's a game jam on at the moment where the theme just so happens to be slightly related to bike riding. And it definitely wasn't the theme that inspired the bike riding idea. Oh yeah, also the jam also gives you 3 hours to make the game. So at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday, keep that time in mind by the way, I decided to make a wheelie hard game. Did you get it? Like wheels on a bike and like wheels, and it's like, and it sounds kind of like really. And step 1 of making a bike game is making a bike. And apparently most people struggle to draw a bike from memory. I'm not sure why or how, probably just dumb, silly people who spent too much time outdoors with real bikes. Okay, maybe I need a reference image. And with a bike drawn, we can make it into a real bike. Wow, how crazy is that? It's got like 2 wheels, a frame, some handlebars. Pretty sure that's everything a bike has. Couldn't confirm that though. Now the theme of the jam was on a way down from a cliff. So it was pretty obvious that the game had to be about a sentient bike going down a hill to get home. But I've been working on a foddy game for the past few months. It's called I'd Kill You as a Woman. It's pretty cool and you should check it out and wishlist it on Steam and play the public beta. And so I thought, let's make the controls a little silly. A little goofy, if you will. And how was I going to do this? Well, the idea I had was to make each of the wheels controlled by rotating the keyboard. Like by doing this. For some context, I came up with the idea the night before the competition started because the theme is decided by public poll, and it was pretty obvious that this theme was going to win. And the rules say that ideation time is not included in the 3 hours. So how do we convert the player spamming the arrow keys into actual movement? Well, it's pretty straightforward. All we need to do is keep a queue of the buttons the player presses. Then check the first person or input in the queue, and if the next person is next to the key, then we add a spinny force, or a torque impulse, as Godot calls it. We add a positive one if the key is clockwise next to it, and a negative one if it's counterclockwise. And if we cast a spell to freeze the body of the bike in midair, we can see that it spins with the keys. Now we've got some gnarly bike action. Wow. And I drew up this little world with the bike, and I just assumed it would be possible. Unfortunately, it wasn't. And with the time ticking down, I couldn't manually draw the map in Photoshop, transfer it to Godot, and then manually place the collisions. Even just trying to make this hill able to be traversed took 10 minutes of trial and error I didn't have. So I needed a change. Instead of drawing the map by hand, I can use Godot's line node and draw out a map. Then I can use a thicker line to fill out the dirt, and by drawing some little rocks and trees, we can build up a more aesthetic looking world. Although I'm still drawing it manually, it's a lot faster and a lot easier. So like a Roman road paver, I paved the roads and did some testing. I wanted to make some challenging jumps, but then I looked at the time and saw I only had 10 minutes left. So I made some jagged rocks and a cliff and some hill. Very straightforward. But it was 12:30. I'd run out of time. I couldn't even put in music. I had to start exporting and uploading it so I could submit it to the jam. Wait. 10 plus 3 isn't 12? It's 1. I still have another hour I can spend on this goofy R game. I could add music. I wanted something outdoorsy, whimsical, and chill. So I booted up Ableton. Then closed it so I could put all those keywords in Pixabay. No shot, I was gonna learn how to make music in an hour. With the rest of my time, I added on to the level, adding an evil jump at the start for the player to fall down and die. The hardest part about making this game is that I had to actually be good at it in order to playtest it. And so I think it ended up being a lot easier than it could have been. Although I think mechanically it still has the concept of easy to learn and difficult to master, like any good foddy game should. If you think the game looks cool, I'm hosting a competition on my Discord. Anyone with the fastest time will get a secret prize, and you definitely don't want to miss out on it. Trust me, it's big and crazy and maybe slightly related to the worm game I'm working on that you should definitely check out and wishlist on Steam.